In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to build your goals and outcomes page. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're on the right page. So right now it says resume. What we can do is just click here, and that will bring up the pages menu. And we want to click on goals and outcomes. You can also navigate there through clicking on your horizontal menu here and selecting manage menu or navigate. Once you're here, we can start building. So to show you an example of what we want on here, we want a title that says goals and outcomes. Then we want to put in our short-term goals and our long-term goals, as well as the SLCC learning outcomes. So let's start by adding a heading. So we can choose one of these titles down here, or we can choose themed text here. So I'm going to select a large heading. And let's double click, or you can choose edit text and type in goals and outcomes. Now if you want, you can make this sentence case or all caps. That's totally up to you. I'm going to make sure that this is centered, and then I'm going to move this up. Now if your text becomes too smushed, you can just resize the box, and that should fix your text. The next thing we want to do is grab a smaller heading. So I'm going to use the small heading, and this I'm going to rename short-term goals, highlight, and then make it centered. So I want to make a copy of this, and to do that I need to first click out of the box, because if I try to duplicate this now, it's not going to let me. As you can see, this is all grayed out. If I click out and then click back to select this box, now this is black and I can choose to duplicate it. So we want to put this on the left side, sorry, the right side, and then this one on the left side. And then let's click in here and make sure that we change this to long-term goals. Make another copy of this and place this below somewhere. Make sure you have enough room for all of your goals. This is going to say SLCC learning outcomes. From here we want to grab a text, some kind of paragraph, so one of these. You can scroll down for more options here. And just place them underneath each of your titles. So I'm just going to use the ones that I already wrote out here. And so for my examples, I have a financial goal. You want at least 3, by the way. So I have a financial goal, an educational goal, and a health and wellness goal here. So just make it a point to make a goal for each of these, and that will help you to write your short-term goals. For your long-term goals, go ahead and copy this, and then move it over, and make sure it's lined up. I've also written some ideas for you guys here. So I've got a personal goal, career goal, and a life goal. So a personal goal can be something like just getting a house. You can have a different career goal for yourself, and a life goal can be something more deep, like creating some kind of nonprofit business or something like that to help people in third world countries or something. So we'll just move this up, and let's go grab a new paragraph. And I'm grabbing a new paragraph instead of copying these, because these already have bullets, and so it's a little bit easier for me to just make a new one. So what we want to do is extend this box by just tugging it, and we want to make it big enough to fit all of our text. So when we get to the point where we want to stop resizing the box, just let go and then click. This will allow you to move your mouse freely without the box trying to resize as you scroll up and down. So once we're here, we want to go to find the SLCC learning outcomes. You can find this by going to slcc.edu and going to the AZ index. And once you're here, click on the E for ePortfolio, which is right here. and then click on the student support site. Once you're here, go to the learning outcomes page and copy and paste the learning outcomes from this area below. So it starts with students acquire and it ends with a sense of well-being. So make sure to copy this and paste it in this box here. Alright, so these are the learning outcomes that the school has created for the students here. I'm sure you saw that this has changed, and if this happens to you, go ahead and just delete it and try pasting it in again. This time it should stay the way that it should be. It doesn't always keep all the formatting the same when you copy and paste, so make sure you go and bold each first sentence of each paragraph, like I'm doing here. So anything that's not bolded you will want to replace eventually with your own paragraph of examples and experiences that you've had pertaining to the very first sentence. So for example, this first one is students communicate effectively. You may have a group project eventually while attending classes here, and so you can write about how that project or class helped you to communicate effectively, and so on. This isn't something that you need to do overnight or even over a single semester because, for example, this last one, students develop attitudes and skills for lifelong wellness. You may not take a class that helps you to learn the skill until the middle of your the middle or like perhaps the end of your very few last semesters, and so this could be something like a yoga class or like a weightlifting class that you may not take until later on. So just make sure that you come back and fix these, and this page is pretty much done. If you want to make this a little bit more interesting, you can add photos by going to add and go to image. You can add your own photos, or you can go here and grab a clip art. I'm going to add one to just make it look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to choose this and apply, and now I have an image here. So I'm just going to drag everything down. Make sure you use the drag handles because they are very helpful. Oops. Let's drag. Oh. Sorry. So make sure that these things aren't attached like I explained in the first video. And once you have that where you want it, you can move these up, and there you go. This is how you create your goals and outcomes page.